OilersNation Everyday with your hosts, Tyler and Liam.
We're very checked out. Let's get into it with the lead. Honestly, Liam, I was gonna sit up and adjust myself. Liam's eating a piece of pizza while we're on the show.
It's kind of bad.
You didn't cook it long enough.
No, I think the flavor's a bit off.
Where'd you get it?
Well, Aaron got it from us, but he did really well in the last one. It was like a Mediterranean flatbread.
Yeah.
This one's labeled as potato and bacon, which I guess is just,
Our mic's working, Pat.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh.
I missed me the first one word.
Well, it's just pierogi.
No internet show ever struggles with mics more than us. And that's not on you, Pat. You're doing a great job this week. But it's just kind of a feature of the show. Feature or a bug? You decide.
Do you want to try some?
No. God, no. It does not look appetizing at all.
Oh, it's not great.
We got to get hot. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of things we got to do. But whatever. The lead was the Oilers don't play for a couple of days. And Liam and I are both kind of checked out. How bad do you think our show would be? Or, counterpoint, how good would our show be if neither one of us had our laptops and we just freewheeled for an hour and a half? It would basically be an episode of Real Life.
Let's find out.
Yeah, let's find out. No prep for our guests. We just bring them on and can be like, what do you guys want to talk about? That would actually be very funny.
I think we should try that one day. I've always wanted... I did a O&R the other day on my laptop. I had Dan look me up some stuff.
Yeah, you raw dogged it.
I did raw dog.
That's what the kids call it.
It's probably what Reese would call it. So it's okay. It makes you think a lot more before you say stuff. Although I kind of just throw some nonsense out there most of the time. People disagree. But hey,
Shoot
here we
from the
are.
hip.
We actually got a good show today with Jeff, Marek, and DJ being on the show.
Yeah, we have two great guests. So
there's actually quite a lot of weird trade stuff going on with the Oilers. Forced trade stuff, which we'll get into.
Forced trades. That's an interesting way to put it.
They are, no?
I mean, maybe. I think that's kind of part of the conversation and part of the debate. Anyways, welcome into the show today, everybody. We are coming to you live from the Sports Closet studio. It is time to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Sports Closet. The prize, you ask? 4 tickets to a game.
Damn.
And a $1,000 Sports Closet shopping spree. This is a great debate, actually. If you had $1,000 and you could walk into Sports Closet and you had 10 minutes to pick out what you want, what do you think you'd get?
Oh, that's a great question.
New third jersey.
Well, the Nation gear they have on sale.
They do have some Nation gear, but you and I get Nation gear. We don't need to buy Nation gear.
I would buy the new third. How much money do you have?
$1,000. So,
okay, so
300 of it, assuming you get a name on the back, gone for the new third jersey.
So that's my Ike Howard jersey. I would probably get... I don't wear a lot of hats, but I feel like I need a new hat.
Okay.
Sports Closet would have that. I would try and buy one of those helmets they have.
Oh, like an NFL helmet?
An NFL helmet. That would be
that's
good.
A good call. I'd do that too. So I would do
I have
third
one,
jersey.
But I need new.
I would do a jacket or some kind of sweater with the third jersey logo because I think that's fresh.
Yeah.
I would do a Bills helmet, and then I'm probably at about I probably have about another $250. I still have so much money left.
Naeem said he'd get 4 Stuart Skinner jerseys. That's
kind of cool. And then he could give them to his loved ones.
Yes.
That'd be really nice of you, Naeem. What else would I want to get? I'd probably do a fresh... Would I do a fresh hat? My buddy Skirt got me my birthday gift this year from the Sports Closet. Got me a fresh hat that has an Oilers logo on the front, so I can't wear it on the show. You'll all never see it. You'll have to see me out in the wild.
Oh, I would get a Blue Jays jersey. I haven't had one for a long time.
Yeah, I would get a Jays jersey too, probably because I want to use Savage really bad. And then I'm almost at the end. Maybe I'd get something for Amber. Maybe a new Bills sweater for Amber. There you go.
Good idea.
That's how I would spend it. Dacky said third jersey, windbreaker, helmet, make the kids' day with the rest of it.
Tyler Mulick a Tennessee Titans fan?
I think so, because they used to be the Houston Oilers. I think that's why he made the connection,
gotcha.
Which does make sense.
That's too bad.
Anyways, shout out to our Sports Closet. You just heard us talking about all the stuff you can win. How can you win it now is the next question. To enter, customers simply need to make a purchase of $100 or more in store or online. No limit on the amount of entries per person either. Wow. So if you have a bunch of stuff you need to buy, just go in once, spend $100. Go in twice, spend $100. Go in a third time, spend $100. You only have until November 30th. Our show, by the way, as always, a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. All right. Pat's upset in the YouTube chat because everyone called him out for the second of missed audio. The second we're never getting back, Pat.
That's okay. I can cut it out of the pod. They'll never know.
That's fair. Mulek also says his dad was a big Moon fan, so it all connects back to Edmonton.
Of course. He played for the
Houston Oilers.
at the time.
Yeah.
And then, Oh, interesting.
So, a
makes a lot of
Titans fan
sense.
in Edmonton actually makes a decent amount of sense.
Yeah, it is.
Even though they stink. They're a bad football team.
Yeah. Well, at least they got the quarterback, maybe.
Yeah. Dacky says was waiting for Black Friday for a jersey, so this works for me. Absolutely. And tune into the show tomorrow. We're going to be giving away a $25 Sports Closet gift card. So that means you could go in, use the $25 gift card. You only have to spend another $75, and you're going to be entered into their anniversary giveaway. So shout out to the Sports Closet, a great local company, 3 locations in the Edmonton area. If you're going to go load up on sports gear, support local. I think that's important to do this time of year. The holiday season. You're done with the laptop?
Yeah, I had to report an imposter, if you know what I mean. I connected with our sources, and I found out, and it wasn't who we thought it could have been. You know who I'm talking about.
You thought Shooter McGavin was Doug Waite.
No, I know Shooter McGavin is Doug Waite.
Oh.
The other guy who was the first one to comment, who I said before, so I was like,
imposter?
Yeah, I texted.
Oh.
And he's like, can we do something about that? So I did.
Oh, you removed him from the YouTube chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to talk to him about that after the show. Anywho, Tyler Mulek, I didn't have enough fun during the Oilers of Decade of Darkness, so I decided to follow along another one. Yeah, that's fair. Didn't the Titans draft that kid from Medicine Hat? They did. Elik Ayamanor or whatever. He's Albertan playing in the NFL.
Oh, cool.
There's 2 of them, actually, with Chuba.
Chuba, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get to a couple of comments in the YouTube chat. There was one earlier that I actually thought would have been good show content. Now I'm struggling to find it. We'll talk about the Bennington thing a little later. Oh, Northside Norm, love Ryder and Lisa outing the office fridge conditions. Okay, so here's something important to note as we talk and as we talk about our office conditions, because Ryder and Lisa are doing a lot to clean it up. There are 2 components to our office. There is the main level. That's where like Jay's office, BM's office. That's where we used to do our show. Pre and post get done out of there. We used to do Real Life and ONR down there. Now it's Ryder and Lisa's studio. But that's the downstairs, like, main level. Mm-hmm. That's where the content team works out of, our marketing department, everything like that. That fridge was disgusting.
I honestly never opened that fridge because I know what's in there.
I never did either.
Yeah. It's a great looking fridge, too.
But then at our office, you go up the stairs and you come into our nice little room, which used to be an Airbnb that the company owned and has now been turned into our studio. If you ever watch us and go, boy, sure looks like you guys are doing this out of an apartment, it's because we basically are.
Yeah, that's 100% the truth.
Up here, we have a stove, we have a kitchen set. Like there's a bedroom, a bathroom that Liam just put a ton of bleach in the toilet, and I think it got to my head.
Yeah, you were a bit worried about that, but that toilet needed a good clean.
It did.
It wasn't disgusting.
Our upstairs fridge has never gotten that bad. We keep our shit tight up here.
Yeah, Aaron actually went grocery shopping for us. And to be fair, most things that are in the fridge are either pop or beer.
Or the rest of the cake.
Which we
do need to get rid of.
We do have a lot of...
Pat TV.
We can eat it. But yeah, that fridge really got outed. A few of you were wondering about the freezer that's also in the mini fridge. I saw a few comments about that.
I did not know that was a thing.
Well, it's overfroze because the temperature was so high. And people were asking, like, what is in there? A few years ago, Aaron bought us
Crave dinners for Christmas,
and I just never took mine home, and it's frozen in that fridge like a person in the day after tomorrow.
So I will not take a ton of responsibility for this because we keep our area of the office clean. So there you go. All right, Chris and Yeg is in with a comment. Okay, here's my hot take. I love when we get a good hot take. Did you put a poll in there about Shooter McGavin and Doug?
Yeah. He's
not fooling anyone, which is why when he emails and is like, can I get let back in? I'm like, honestly, no, because I know you're still there.
Yeah, you watch every show.
Anyways, Chris and Yeg said, here's my hot take. Everyone praising Roslovic because he missed camp and is still producing. I think he's at risk at the trade deadline because his late season production is going to fall off. Here's where I'll disagree with you a little bit, Chris. And honestly, I might have agreed with you 8 to 10 days ago.
Like a week ago, yeah.
I will disagree with you now. Because even if his late season production falls off at $1.5 million, I don't think you ever get to a point where you, like, even buried, that's $400,000. Which I'm not saying they're ever going to bury Jack Roslovic, but like even if he struggles for a month, the upside of keeping him until he gets hot is worth it because the cap savings are minimal. If he was making $3 million, if he was making $4 million, even if he was making $2.5 million, I'd be willing to have that conversation and be like, you know what? Maybe there's a world where like you're trying to acquire a $4 million player and the cost of doing business is offloading Roslovic. Like, yes, totally. But I just don't really think there will be a world where he falls off so hard and is so bad that the Oilers are like, just get him out of here and save the 1.5. It's way more likely that you find a way to move on from one of the guys with term, cough, Matthias Janmark.
Well, we just saw him go through a full season with Jeff Skinner, who was in and out of the lineup making $3 million, and he managed to stick around and be part of.
But there were trade rumors, and Arvidsson asked out, and he never went anywhere.
100%. But I feel like we've never even had like maybe it's because he wasn't allowed in the lineup, but like it's been like a week or so now straight of Roslovic being like, oh, he's one of the best forwards consistently. I just think like if Roslovic wasn't on this team, they would be looking for Roslovic at the trade deadline, and that's why I just don't think they would ever consider moving him. Obviously, I went on record the other day and said they should extend him if things continue to go as well as they are.
Sure.
I don't think they would want to. I think they showed too much interest in the summer, and then to get him now just seems like something that wouldn't happen. But I kind of see where you're coming from. There's another hot take in there, too, from Yanni, if we want to get into that one.
Well, I just quickly on Losh, who made a good point, I thought. Roslovic at 1.5 is like getting a player double retained at the deadline. Like,
exactly.
kind of, yeah. I think that's a good point. Yanni said, my hot take, they trade for a 4C and send Filip down. I think that'd be a mistake.
I think it's not out of the realm of possibility, though.
Yeah.
I think it also would be a mistake, but I don't think it's something that's nuts.
Braden says, my hot take, we'll talk about trade targets till we're blue in the face, but the Oilers won't do anything until this summer. I think so, and that's going to be kind of the part of the conversation we have with Jeff Marek when Jeff pops in. Pat, you just give me a wave when Jeff is here, all right? Thank you. But just quickly on Roslovic, I was looking into some of the numbers yesterday. Like, what's one thing that's driving us nuts about this Oilers team when it comes to their offensive attack?
They're not scoring at 5-on-5.
They're not scoring at 5-on-5, and they're not shooting the puck.
Oh, yes.
Jack Roslovic has the best individual shots per 60 on the team at 5-on-5, and he is a sizable gap over second place. 8.27 shots per 60 for Jack Roslovic. So again, that's a total of 60 minutes on the ice, not per game, but 8.27 is Roslovic. Second on the team is Nurse at 7.16.
Damn.
That is a significant gap. Third on the team, the next closest forward is actually Ike Howard at 7.04, and then it goes Rico, then it goes Podkolzin, then it goes Tomasek, then McDavid, then Savoie. It is crazy that Leon Draisaitl is 14th on the team at 5-on-5 shots per 60. That number needs to be way up. Shot attempts per 60 at 5-on-5. Draisaitl does. He actually goes down. He goes to 15th, which again, absolutely insane. But in terms of the rates and who's actually attempting a lot of shots, it's again Howard, Roslovic, and then kind of everybody else below them. So that kind of go fork in the road. We can go down two conversations. Continue to praise Jack Roslovic. We've done a bit of that. It also ties into an Ike Howard conversation of like, okay, this guy clearly has the confidence to rip the puck. Maybe we need to give him more opportunity or just send him down to Bakersfield. And I talked to Gregor about this yesterday. You don't need to send him down, shake his hand, and say, well, see you next September, Ike. No. You can send him down and say, hey, go get your confidence up. I don't think anyone would deny that Ike Howard is a player who probably thrives on being confident. Send him down to Bakersfield. Let him score 14 goals in 24 games, whatever the number is over the next 6 to 8 weeks. Bring him back up in end of January. Say, you're ready to go? All right, next to Leon. Give him a month next to Leon. If it works, great. If it doesn't, you have an answer and some finality heading into the deadline. But sending down Ike Howard now does not mean you're punting on the season for him. You don't believe in him. It's not even saying that he failed up here. Your coach isn't using him, so don't hurt his development.
I have a couple of thoughts on these young guys in the conversation around like their minutes and everything. One thing I just looked at, and I wonder if this is part of why he's still here. I think he's still fully here because of the injuries they have and they need bodies. So 7-8 minutes, whatever, they could be valuable. Like, Bakersfield's also not playing well, so maybe they're also waiting a little bit for them to get some traction, and then they like put him in a good situation rather than like throwing him like fully into the fire and being like, go fix this problem for us. I think Bakersfield will probably be fine. They're not anything special, but they shouldn't get buried every single night. Connor Ingham should eventually find his game. If Ike Howard was to get more minutes, who would you take minutes away from in the NHL? And the same conversation with Savoie. I think that's one side of things I'm just like struggling to wrap my head around is that we need more minutes. It's like, okay, well, where are you getting those minutes from?
Probably putting Mangiapane on the third line for a bit.
So you would go from putting Ike Howard down all the way to Mangiapane from the first line to the third line and put Ike Howard up there.
I think it's a worthwhile conversation because they're not scoring at 5-on-5, so try to get a boost.
Very interesting. I don't think I would consider that at all.
Something's got to change is my point. And the last number I want to throw your way, then we'll get out to the guest line because I know Jeff's waiting. Individual expected goals per 60. And this is actually a number that, the Oilers probably aren't using the publicly available stuff. Probably. They likely aren't. But Matt Savoie is second on the team in expected goals per 60 at .92. He's doing a lot of things right. He's just not getting the bounces, or he's doing a lot of things right and isn't playing with enough skill. So I just think you might have a player here, and I want to find out. I want answers. I want to know if Ike Howard can fit up there. I want to know if Matt Savoie, if you gave him the proper runway, can work. And guess what? If it doesn't, then in December, you put Mangiapane up there, and he's a vet, and everything's good.
Maybe we'll talk about it a bit more after that.
Sure. All right. On that note, then, let's get out to the Star Mechanical guest line. It's Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. You can find out more by visiting them online at starmechanical.ca. Whether it's residential, commercial, or 24/7 emergency services, they do it all, and they do it well. For you, Edmonton, at Star Mechanical, as we bring in Jeff Marek from The Sheet every weekday on dailyfaceoff.com. What do you make of the conversation we were just...
I can just ask a question about moving up players and specifically Ike Howard. I think Ike Howard is going to be a really good player in this league for a really, really long time. The one thing that I do wonder about Ike Howard, I think, is the one thing that a lot of people are wondering about, and that is... Oh, I got an echo in my...
Oh, yeah, we do. Fixed. There you go.
You guys got an echo still?
We're good.
Fixed. Perfect. Thanks, Pat. Can he pass quick enough at this pace? Like at the pace that the Oilers play and the way the Oilers play, can he pass at that level? Like, that's the only thing. There's no doubt, like, he gets in, dots down, he's going to the net, he's shooting, like, no problem there. I just don't know whether he's at this level for passing at this point in his career. He's going to get there. I think we all understand that. I just don't know that he's there yet.
I think he's one of those guys, too, and, like, I remember Nail Yakupov struggling with this when they came up, and not that they're the same player, but, like, I think he's maybe struggling a bit to adapting to not being the best player at the level. Like, in NCAA, he could kind of just... He could put his head down, rip, and then fire a wrist shot past a goalie. And he has to play a bit more methodically, which, again, goes back to my point of, like, that's not doing you anything on the fourth line. Either play him with someone where he can get chances to rip one-timers and shoot pucks, or let him grow his game in Baco.
And that's, to me, where I think he's going to end up here as players come back. Don't you? Like, give the taste now, and then off the American... Like, the American Hockey League, more than anything else, is... Like, I've always looked at it as, like, that's like your finishing school for the NHL, and specifically your finishing school for how to play defensively and play the defensive side of the puck. There's nothing that's going to replicate the NHL game. Anybody who jumps up makes that like, wow, man, it is just that much faster. I thought it was fast in the American League. It's even quicker at the NHL level, but that's your final learning school before you get to the NHL. And I think that outside of like superstars, elite, I'm of the mind that at every single position, everybody needs time in the AHL, because the jump from anywhere else to the NHL is just too big. And there's no shame in that. Like, I don't look at it as like, oh, he got sent down. It's a demotion. To me, it's an investment. The American Hockey League is A, an excellent hockey league, B, a really hard league to play in, and C, your best finishing school until you get there. I think I look at it as like, it's your investment league in your players. That's what it is, and there's no shame in going there. I think everybody belongs there, unless your name is like, Matthew Schaefer, Connor McDavid, Macklin Celebrini. Like, unless you're like these types of players, yeah, you can skip the American League. But for the overwhelming majority, that's where the learning gets done.
Yeah,
I agree. I just think when these players start rolling back in, it's going to start happening. But one of the players who's going to be obviously coming back soon is Zach Hyman. Do you have any idea of when we could possibly see him? And also, too, like, I feel like his importance to the Oilers is pretty undervalued.
Yeah. It's being shown right now.
So there's a couple of things that I wonder about him, and I think it sounds like middle of November, which is still in that zone that the Oilers expected him to be in. And I know the answer to this is going to be, no, Jeff, you're wrong. I get it. But would you guys, I'll throw it back to you guys. You guys are there every day, and I'm watching from thousands of miles away. Would you guys see value in putting him with Trent Frederick?
Yeah.
To try to give him a boost, to try to give him a chart. Like Trent Frederick could be, based specifically on his size and when he's inspired, how determined he can be. Do you think that there would be value in putting him with Trent Frederick to try to get him going? Like when he's moving his feet as an F1, if he can get there fast enough and can win puck battles, I mean, that's the guy that they want, right? Is he getting there as fast as Edmonton wants? No. Is he winning enough puck battles that Edmonton wants? No. But I do wonder how much, putting Zach Hyman with him could help him. You know what I mean? Like, do you think there's any value in that? Like, we all know that he's going up top 6. Like, we all know that. But would there be any value in starting him off by playing him with Frederick?
I wonder, like, taking that conversation into, like, what sort of identity does Chris Knobloch want his third line to have? Like, does he want them to be one that's cycling the puck and generating some offense? And, like, yes, Hyman and Frederick are going to be, like, a pain in the other team's ass, but, like, how does he want them to be a pain in the ass? Does he want them hammering guys off the forecheck, then setting up shop, wearing down the other team? Because if that's the case, I'd say yes, Hyman, Frederick, and put Matt Savoie on the left side, and, like, here we go. That's a line that can create something for you. Or does he want his third line to just be one that crash and bangs and maybe doesn't score goals but doesn't get scored on? Because if that's the case, I would play Frederick with like a Podkolzin and be like, just go hit everything you see and give us energy that way.
What is, and I'm not going to say the most important line, although you can point to plenty of examples, either Tampa or Anaheim, or maybe even last year with the Florida Panthers. When you win the Stanley Cup, what turns out to be the most important line?
The third line.
HBK, when the Penguins won, right?
Kessel
yes, should have won MVP.
Another one. Yes, he should have. Boy, would that have been great. Absolutely. So I don't think that's a line that you can look past at all. I think that's a line that you take sort of great pride in and understand. If the top 6 are playing 50-50 with the other top 6 on the other team, what does that leave open? And that's your area to exploit whomever you're playing against. I don't know. Like I think we all expect Hyman to go up top 6. I just wonder if there's any value in, just as an investment in Trent Frederick, put Hyman with him, at least for a little bit of time. That's what I would wonder about.
Do you know, it's interesting, Jeff, that you brought it up and kind of triggered for me. Hyman played, I just pulled up, almost half the playoff games last season with Evander Kane, which is somewhat of like a similar situation. Obviously, Kane just didn't play the season, but they've clearly shown a willingness to move Hyman away. And also, too, Corey Perry just took over that role on the power play, too.
Yeah. And like the thing about Hyman, too, is like he's one of the most versatile guys, and coach's dream, tough to lose a line matchup, and doesn't complain. Like some guys would come back and say, like, I'm playing with Connor. Like, that's my spot. I'm playing with Connor. One of the luxuries of having someone like Zach Hyman, who doesn't take anything for granted in his career, he's a plug-and-play guy. You want to play a third line? Great. You want to play up McDavid? That's great, too. I'll do whatever it takes to be successful with the Edmonton Oilers. I'm sure you can tell by now that Zach Hyman's one of my favorite hockey players. All the time in the world for him. And a lot of it goes back to, I remember watching him in junior hockey in the OJHL, playing with Hamilton, shoot the lights out. He goes to Michigan, and that game doesn't work anymore. And it was Red Berenson that said, like, son, you need to develop a secondary game. You need to have we need to figure out a different way to play, because you can't play the way that you did in the OJ here for the Wolverines. You need to figure something else out. And that guy has gone and recreated himself a number of different times. And now he can be successful playing whichever way you want. Is foot speed where you want it? Well, he's not Connor McDavid, but he gets around a lot better than he did when he started, and a lot better than when he was playing with the Wolverines. And secondly, I don't know what Zach Hyman did in a previous life to deserve the good karma that he has, to go from playing with like Austin Matthews now with Connor McDavid. Like, I don't know, you pulled a family out of a burning car or something in a previous life, but like, man, you talk about like good hockey karma, Zach Hyman's got it.
Next area I wanted to go to with you is a little bit on the trade front. You and I had this discussion on DFO Live the other day, as you join me every Tuesday on that show with Carter Hutton. the Nashville Predators, like, okay, the Oilers and Oilers fans, there's this expectation that next summer they're going to like do something crazy. And with the cap savings from McDavid, boy, they're going to make a big splash finally. And I think that's a lot of times easier said than done. But then I look at the Nashville Predators and I'm like, oh boy, if there's any team Oilers fans should be crossing their fingers going, please be bad this year, please be bad this year. Like it should be Nashville. Like they might be a team who sells.
I agree. And I know the contract is lengthy and it's not small, but if you're not talking about looking at Jusse Saros, then what are we doing here? Like I think when you look at the Nashville Predators and look, come available if they decide to go the rebuild mode, like I look at Saros and the Nashville organization specifically with his relationship with Barry Trotz, and I've always said that you can expect players to go along with one rebuild. I think that's fair, but considering how short careers are, you can't ask a player to go through 2 rebuilds. And if this is that Nashville is going to go, I would expect that Barry Trotz would have that conversation with Jusse Saros, like, look, this is the direction we're going to go. We tried, we loaded up Stamkos, Marchessault, Brady Shea, and it didn't work. We need to go a different direction here. We love you, but we can't ask you to do this again. I know there's going to be a lot of noise around Ryan O'Reilly. I know there's already some noise around Steven Stamkos. But if I'm the Edmonton Oilers, again, the place that I'm looking at here, whether it's this year or, Tyler, to your point, next year with all the cap savings and the cap space, that's where I'd be looking if I'm the Edmonton Oilers. And don't even worry about the contract. Like, you're not in a place right now where you got to worry about, like, oh, what's that going to look like in 4 years? No. Don't even consider that whatsoever. You just need to think about the next game and the next, and the next round of playoffs if you're the Edmonton Oilers. That's the guy that I'd be looking at if I'm Edmonton.
Yeah, the question just comes to how do you...
What do you think?
I'm in. I mean, how can you not be, right?
I just don't think it could work in season.
It work? It's so difficult to do. But there's other pieces. How good is Ryan O'Reilly nowadays? Like, I don't watch a lot of Nashville Predators games, but like $4.5 million, like he can, I assume, can still play a pretty solid role for a contending team.
It's not just on the ice for O'Reilly too, but off the ice as well. Ask anyone who's ever played for him, and even in like the dog days of the Buffalo Sabres, where he talks about falling out of love with the game and losing passion and all that kind of stuff. Like he's a Game 7 guy about a lot of things in his life. He's still someone that wins you key faceoffs. He's still one that is a coach's dream in the sense that it's like we talked about with Zach Hyman. Whatever role you ask him to play, he'll do it, and he'll do it gladly. There is still some offense left with Ryan O'Reilly, but if we talk about, like, on a team like the Edmonton Oilers, he's not playing first-line center, right? It's like, I remember having a conversation once with Holik, and we were talking about, the difference between him playing on the Devils and him playing on the Rangers. And he said, Jeff, it's really simple. If Bobby Holik is your third-line center, I'll never forget that he said it about himself. If Bobby Holik is your third-line center, we're going to win the Stanley Cup. If Bobby Holik is your first-line center, we're not going to win the Stanley Cup. If Ryan O'Reilly is your first-line center, you're not going to win the Stanley Cup. If Ryan O'Reilly is your third-line center, man, you got a really good shot at winning the Stanley Cup. And that's where I see value in O'Reilly. Great on the defensive side of the puck, great with faceoffs. And I know they don't flood the room, so I always come shy about saying good guy in the room, but he's a good guy in the room. And great for your younger players too.
I like that line.
That's why I always get that. I remember someone said that to me a million years ago, Tyler. I go, oh yeah, good guy in the room. And this guy snaps back at me, goes, dummy, they don't flood the room. Like, oh yeah, right.
There will be, you could probably write a book on the many attempts the Nashville Predators have taken to find their number one centerman. Like, the list is long.
Oh,
Joe.
Forever.
Oh my God.
Forever. For whatever reason, it's always been like, it's goaltenders, it's defensemen, usually from the Western Hockey League, and wingers. And maybe that brings us to Filip Forsberg too. Like, I think like the St. Louis Blues, for example, I think like a lot of things are getting on the table right now. And probably by the time the St. Louis Blues make a decision about their season, maybe everything is going to be on the table. But when you look at the Nashville Predators and say to yourself, okay, what could be on the table here? Sure, we're talking Stamkos. Sure, we're talking Ryan O'Reilly. What about Filip Forsberg? right? Going back to the Marty Erat trade when he came over from the Washington Capitals, how many whacks at the pinata has this guy had, and how much of a good soldier has he been to the Nashville Predators? And at what point do you say, do you want? Oh, like I'll tell you, when the Colorado Avalanche were looking at losing, when the Avalanche were looking at losing Gabriel Landeskog to the St. Louis Blues in free agency, the guy that they were planning on replacing him with was Filip Forsberg. That was a contingency plan for the Colorado Avalanche. Now, I love Gabe Landeskog. He might be my favorite player in the NHL. But tell me there's not something seductive about saying, Filip Forsberg playing with the Avalanche with that skating and that shot, maybe riding with Nathan MacKinnon. I don't know.
He's a 90-point guy, and he hasn't had a high-end centerman to play with. Like, I mean,
Ever.
I know. It's crazy. Liam, before we let Jeff go, you wanted to throw him one more?
Oh, yeah. It seemed like there was a report today, I forget the name of the report, but a French report of the USHL potentially coming and joining up and being the fourth league in the CHL. What do you kind of make of all this? There was obviously a bit of speculation over the summer with all the new rule changes, but what do you make of it?
So there's a couple of things. So the person who wrote the piece is Kevin Dubé. So, and I'm not going to dispute the reporting, because there were conversations between the CHL and the USHL, and this was all sort of bookended by, like, the NHL wants this to work. Okay, so like this is a big deal for Deputy Commissioner Bill Daley. Like, they want this to get worked out. Right now, these are two entities that are, trying to grab players from one another, and there's not a sort of cooperative understanding between the two. And for the, quote, good of the game, as now the development model, as you guys both know, is completely, all your viewers and listeners know, has completely changed. A lot of it is going to revolve on, okay, so what happens before these kids go to Division I? And what happens to develop the development model? And in a perfect scenario, you have a healthy USHL and you have a healthy CHL. And although there may be complications and some significant ones, if you try to bring the two leagues together or harmonize the CHL with the USHL, I don't know whether you create a fourth league or whether I don't even know how you would configure it. There's so many different ways and different agendas at play here. For the quote-unquote good of the development for the players, I think at some point here, and maybe soon, both sides need to come to some kind of understanding. And I think this is probably one of the points that the neutral observer here, the NHL, would make to both sides, is you're not going to both get what you want. Right? Like, Dan McKenzie's not going to get 100% of what he wants, and Glenn Heffron's not going to get 100% of what he wants. But the challenge here, Liam, this is a long-winded answer to your question, I apologize for it, but the challenge here is, how do you make this work for both sides so the NHL developmental pipeline can be as high quality as possible? Now, that idea has been, like, the idea of harmonizing the USHL and the CHL has kind of been kicked around for years. It is nothing new. I don't think that there's anything imminent whatsoever, and I don't think that Kevin maintained that in his piece. But it has been a conversation previous, and it doesn't surprise me that's the situation now. But I do want to point out here, because I don't want to get radioed, that there is, as of right now, no plans for this to happen. Have there been conversations about it, about how this could work? What are your issues? What are my issues? Absolutely, because there should be. Because for the good of the development of players getting to college hockey and getting to the NHL, if that's the route they go, or whichever route they go, it's best if there's a healthy and robust USHL and a healthy and robust CHL. I don't know if that answers adequately, but that's what I know about all of it.
No, that was great. I have a hypothetical I want to throw your way, Jeff, and you
can
just say yes or no. I just wonder if it's more likely that CHL teams just start to expand into the US more or not. And I know there's obviously already a few, from what I understand, too. There's a couple of NOL teams. Like, how long is it until, like, Michigan maybe gets another team down there? Flint's already there. Like, I just feel like the CHL might not sit around and wait for the USHL to make a decision.
It's a great question, and here's the answer. USA Hockey has to approve it.
Right.
And I don't think that USA Hockey right now is in the business of doing anything that's going to hurt the United States Hockey League. I think like honestly, like Liam, it's a great question, and you know the CHL has been in the States for a number of years, and I still think that all three leagues are interested in adding teams, specifically the Quebec League, both by way of expansion, perhaps relocation as well. But I don't think that USA Hockey would approve that right now until there is they reach an understanding under the umbrella of what the NHL wants between these two outfits. But it is an excellent question. Look, like Youngstown almost went to the OHL last year. It was really close. Like there were two teams in the USHL that almost left. I don't think that USA Hockey is going to allow any type of CHL expansion that would obviously threaten the United States Hockey League and the health of it. So great question, but can't see it right now.
Jeff, you're always very generous with your time. Thank you for popping on. We appreciate it.
No problem. See you, boys.
Thanks, Jeff.
See you, Jeff. The sheet today with Greg Wyshynski and David Pagnotta, who's also a friend of our show.
Friend of our show. It's like he's on all these network shows that we're a part of.
Interesting. Anyways, Jeff Marek of The Sheet. Find it wherever you get your podcast from. I would assume most of you are already listening to it, though, because it is very popular.
It's very insightful, too.
It's a great show.
And like by very popular, let's just say it boosted our podcast numbers quite significantly.
Yeah, Liam does the metrics in the network. He's our numbers guy, so he knows. He knows how popular shows are.
Because Jeff's the best. Like, he's just so insightful, and there's all this information that you don't hear a lot anywhere else. Like CHL stuff, I can tell you another podcast that talks about the CHL.
Yeah.
That's an NHL podcast.
Yeah. All right. I want to get to a little bit here. And it'll eventually become, like, I think our Spotify question of the day.
Yeah. I have a trade proposal for you on that. So let's get to that.
Yeah, so let's do it. It's brought to you by Oodle Noodle. You can take advantage of the value menu deal, which allows you to add 2 green onion cakes, 5 spring rolls, or 6 wontons to your order for just $2. Any signature premium box. Takeout orders only. Go to oodlenoodle.ca to find a location near you or to order yourself. Stuttered there a little bit. I bet you people that. You know what? Sometimes that's good, though. You just
stutter.
You just stay quiet for like 3 seconds.
Pause for effect.
Yeah. Pause for effect. But like you stay quiet for 3 seconds, and then everyone who's watching just kind of goes like, wait, is my screen broken? Is it on? And then they see the Oodle Noodle ad. Anywho, the Jusse Saros thing. That's the question. That's the conversation.
Okay.
What would you give up for Jusse Saros? If you're listening on Spotify, drop us a comment. We'll get to some of them tomorrow. We'll also get to your answers from later. But what would you give up in a trade for Jusse Saros? And I do think it is important to remember, and you and I are people that hammer this because we really want people to know, goalies never go for as much as you think they will. And Jusse Saros, while he is a great goalie, it is also worth noting he is 30 years old. And when you're trading for him, which would be this summer, this is not happening in season. I just don't, unless someone were to get injured, I don't see a world in which the Oilers can make the financials work. So this is a July or draft day conversation for Jusse Saros. He is 30 years old, so he'll be 31 when he becomes an Oiler. When? See, I'm already so excited. He would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more years left on his deal at $7.7 million. So there is a contract that you are taking from Nashville here. This is a goalie who's already in his 30s. You're not trading for a 26-year-old star goalie. You're trading for a 30-year-old one. A good comparable, and Mulek brought it up in the chat. Some others have as well. The Linus Ullmark deal from a couple of years ago. Linus Ullmark, who was not that far removed from a Vezina season, who had a year where he had a .915. He was 1 year removed from winning the Vezina. Got traded to the Ottawa Senators in exchange for a first-round pick, which was in the 20s, so it wasn't a high first.
It ended up being Dean Letourneau. Yeah.
Mark Kastelik, and a cap dump that would be Jonas Korpisalo, which, if anything, probably hurt the return. So when people sit here and say one of the deals that was thrown in was a first, Filip, and Pickard, that's basically the Ullmark deal.
No, it's not.
What's different about it?
Isn't Mark Kastelik was a much more established NHL player, no?
Mark Kastelik, before he was traded, had a career high of 11 points in 65 games.
But he also had 140 games under his belt.
But then we're in an argument of like upside versus what. Like, it's pretty comparable. You're also not taking the or the shitty contract of Korpisalo in the trade. So like, First and Pickard is like basically what you're looking at. But again, we don't even need to throw Pickard in there. He'd be a pending UFA. So ignore that whole thing entirely.
Yeah.
First and
I wonder if
just be a first.
I wonder if the Saros contract would lower this in a way for the Oilers because of how long it actually is.
Ottawa went on to sign Ullmark to an extension, but the belief was beforehand that Ullmark was going to sign an extension. So there is that.
Yeah. Sorry, what did you say then? I was reading the chat.
Just a first.
No, the Ullmark, he was going to sign an extension,
Yeah,
right? Okay, and he was something like a, whoa.
That was trippy,
Inception.
Anyways.
Okay.
I think it's a first. I think it's a first for Saros, and you go, Nashville, we're taking the full contract. Nashville goes, yep. You say, here's your first. Pleasure doing business with you. Enjoy your rebuild.
I think a first-round pick, of course. I was wondering until you said end of season if it would be anything similar to like the Tyson Berry, Matthias Ekholm deal, which obviously was Tyson Berry, I think a first-round pick, Reed Schaefer, and a fourth-round pick, mid-round pick, whatever it was. And in my hypothetical then, Stuart Skinner would have had to have gone the other way. But maybe you don't. Maybe you can eliminate one pick in that. But then, like you said, it's hard to do in season.
It's impossible to do.
Yeah, it's impossible to do
because like
season, unless they kept some money, which they've done before.
But I don't. They're not keeping 8 years of Saros or 7 more years of Saros.
They also, I don't know if they can. How many retained salary spots do you get?
3.
Okay, so that would be their final. But Sissons and Echo both come off the shit.
Yeah.
By the way, Nashville is still paying Matt Duchene and Kyle Torres
a combined $8.5 million this season. I might add.
This is the last year they have to pay Duchene. I can't believe Kyle Torres is still paying him.
It's crazy.
I honestly I'm struggling hard to think of a legit because the thing with Kastelik too, he is currently younger than Noah Philp.
Yeah, he was a younger guy, so sure. But I mean, he was a tweener, man.
No, I know. I'm not saying, but Noah Philp can't even get in the lineup. But now all of a sudden Nashville won him.
Mark Kastelik was still played in, I think, the AHL the year they traded him. He had games in the AHL.
I'm not saying Mark Kastelik's anything special. I just think he's a bit more. I think the others would have to add a better player than Philp.
I get what you're saying, Kastelik, Philip, sure. But now I'm saying Nashville, we're taking the full contract. You don't have to take a dead money deal from us or a bad contract from us. Also, again, Ullmark unsigned, Saros signed. You can view that as a positive or a negative. Ottawa viewed it as hey, we know this guy's going to commit to us. We get to negotiate a contract on our terms, more or less. You're taking a contract from Nashville here.
Yep. And I want Saros. I don't want it to be twisted. I just don't know if the Oilers have the correct assets to go get him.
Someone said 2 years retention is enough. You can't do that.
You can't do that. It has
you
to be the full contract.
You have to retain on the full deal. You can't pick and choose years. So
Spencer said they can have Yaremchuk. I would assume Yaremchuk's already gone.
Yep. I'd be pretty confident in that. Again, maybe you, but even this is pointless because you could throw an Emberson, but I don't know. So let me just try to go about this in an order here for a second.
Yes.
For the people going, can they get him this year? Can they get him this year? Here are the players. If Skinner was out the door and Saros was in, and you are trying to be cap compliant with the roster that you currently plan to have, here are the players that you would have to trade in order to become cap compliant. Ekholm, Nurse, no movement clause. I know people will be like, yeah, do that. No movement clause. Bouchard, not trading Evan Bouchard. Hyman, not trading him. Nuge, and that's pretty much it. Unless you were to do a combination of Frederick and Mangiapane, no movement clauses or no trade clauses. So you're not getting Saros in season. No. And for the people being you need to retain on him, whatever, no, you can't retain for only a year. The people saying, how can they afford a $7 million goalie? Next summer, the Oilers, are we going $107 million cap? Sure. I think we are. The Oilers have $20.7 million in cap space. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 forwards signed. They have 6 defensemen signed and no goalies. You can you could afford Saros and Forsberg next year and be totally fine cap-wise.
God, wow.
You make your backup Ingram for $1 million,
I'll find someone else.
or find someone else for $1 million. But I'm just saying. And then you could have Saros and Ingram 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You could have Saros and Forsberg, and you would have $3 million to sign your 12th forward and your 7th defenseman, assuming your backup's $1 million. Like, you can very, very easily afford both of those players in a blockbuster trade with the Nashville Predators. And holy shit, is that the kind of move I would love to, everyone would obviously love to see Stan Bowman go do. And you go and, again, whatever assets Nashville would want for that, like if they want Ike Howard, they can have Ike Howard if I'm getting Filip Forsberg. They can have 2 first-round picks, Ike Howard, Bo Akey, go down the line. Everyone is on the table if you can get both of those players from the Nashville Predators. And you can afford it because of what Connor McDavid did.
Well, he's not going to wait.
Well, then you got to trade, I don't know.
Is Podkolzin on the table? For a summer deal for Saros, his extension kicks in, obviously, this summer, $2.95 million. Is that Mark Kessler?
First and... no, Podkolzin's
he's better than Mark Kessler. I get that. But, like, is that, like, the equivalent of, like, we are giving you this guy instead of our shitty cap dump goalie? Not Skinner, Korpsella.
If I had to do it...
I would 100% do that.
You bite the bullet and say, well, we trust that we'll find another Vasily Podkolzin. I love Pods, but, like, yes. Tyler, is there any world where they can have Saros and Stu? No, because Stuart Skinner's not going to sign a contract here to be a 20-game-a-year backup, which is what you would be doing if you get Jusse Saros.
I do think Stu's gone this summer.
Well, it's way too early for that. If they win a Stanley Cup, buddy,
of
extension
course,
time.
yes.
And I only live in a world where they win a cup.
Okay. I live in one where they, like, maybe win the cup. I just, like, wonder if they want to keep going back to that over and over again.
I think it's a very easy, like, flow chart. Did the Oilers win the Stanley Cup? Yes. Skinner extension. No. Skinner is leaving as a free agent.
Unless somehow he has, like, goes on to have a great season.
Sure.
But then maybe that becomes an overpay.
Well.
It's such an interesting one. I don't know, yeah. I mean, the fact he's not signed, I think, is pretty telling.
I will give you maybe one scenario where the no column leads to an extension. If Stuart Skinner has a great playoffs and they just happen to lose, I still think this fan base will just be all over the front office
like
to get a new goalie. Like last year. Well, you could argue like both years. If he has a great playoffs, though, like right up until the bitter end when they're eliminated, I could see a world where the Oilers go to him and are like, okay, let's do one more crack at this, Stu. 1 year, $4 million. Let's go.
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, like a short-term deal.
Like
and they say, like, hey, if you become a Stanley Cup goalie in the next 2 seasons, and maybe they still believe because of whatever, if you become a Stanley Cup goalie, in 2 years, you're 28, you're a UFA, or 29, there's your payday. We might give it to you. Someone else might give it to you. Someone will give it to you. In the meantime, here's another, if it's a 2-year deal, here's another $8 million guaranteed. It's a $4 million a year deal. We run it back. But I honestly really do think it's as simple as, do you win the cup? Do you not win the cup? Skinner stays, Skinner goes.
I think so too. People are saying that Skinner will be out of the league in 2 years. There is a 0 chance. Honestly, I don't think out. Like, come on.
Samuel Janssen just got his 3rd consecutive shutout. Maybe something there.
There's definitely something there.
There's something
he
there.
hasn't lost a game yet, and he's played 4 games as 3 shutouts.
There's something there, but now here's where the Oilers are in a little bit of a pickle. You need Connor Ingram to keep playing. I kind of want to see Samuel Janssen in the AHL.
Well, Nathaniel Day's just not playing hockey right now. He was supposed to be in the league pretty soon.
They have too many projects on the go.
Yeah, come on, like shut down one project, keep it going. They might have to. I don't know exactly how this all works, but they might have to loan a goalie in the American League to like just give Day some games.
I don't know. Are there any organizations in the AHL that
I just don't know how it fully works anymore.
I don't think there are any American League teams who are like unaffiliated though, right? Which is almost what you need.
Can you do that still though? There was a couple last year. Maybe it's only if they're on an American League deal. I don't 100% know the rule, but like they might have to move someone to like help make a spot. It's interesting.
Mulick says Janssen's going to be our Treya Savage.
Yeah.
From the Swedish League to the ECHL, the AHL, to Stanley Cup Finals.
Boy. Yeah, he looks to be a really solid goalie. I was surprised he went down to the American League, but it's interesting in the sense of like, okay, so Day stayed in the AHL, and Johansson went to the ECHL. Did they do that because they believe more in Day, or did they do that because they want Johansson to play right now?
I think they want Johansson to play right now. Or Janssen, sorry.
Janssen. It's interesting. He won some goalie award in the SHL, whatever league he was playing last year. Maybe it was just rookie goalie of the year. I don't know. But he looks to be okay. Hopefully that continues.
He's a 2028 option. He's not a this year. He's not a next year.
No. No. I don't even want to put a date on it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
it's a few
if you're
years.
sitting there saying, like, oh, wait till next training camp and Janssen's ready. Like, okay, let's pump the brakes here a little bit.
I promise you he gets sent down pretty quick.
Yep.
Like after the first rookie game.
Yep. Okay, so there's our Spotify question. What would you be willing to give up for Jusse Saros? I honestly think that when they don't have a first this year because they had to go to San Jose for Wallman. Your 2027 first round pick probably gets it done.
It might be like a draft day one, where it's like, hey, we're at the draft. We have the 32nd overall pick.
But they don't have this year's pick.
Next year, we'll win the back-to-back. That's right. Yeah, they obviously wouldn't wait 2 years.
I just think a first is enough.
For people who are looking to put their hypotheticals in our Spotify chat as well, a different situation because he was a pending UFA, but this was the Mackenzie Blackwood trade last season. Colorado traded Nikolai Kovalenko, who was just a bottom six guy. Gorgiev, who was a cap dump. I think he's in Buffalo, sips him now. A 5th round pick and a 2nd round pick, and they also had to throw in Smith and a 5th round pick to San Jose to get Blackwood. So there you go.
Before we get to DJ, let's review our Spotify questions from yesterday.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Let's give the people some love. Our question yesterday, by the way, was if you could sprinkle magic heater dust on any Oiler. Ooh. Put him on a hot streak. Who would you pick? Blade Runner is in, says, hey, guys, love the podcast. Live on the west coast of Australia and do a lot of driving, so only catch this on Spotify. Great getting daily updates on the team. Love the passion. Oil up. No heater one there. Adam is in. Commented the first day. It's a great comment. Thank you. Sprinkle some heater dust on Filip. At some point, he'll be allowed to stay in the lineup. Go Oilers. Love your guys' content.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Filip would be great. I mean, listen, if you're listening to the show, I feel like you're like a de facto Filip fan because of how much I talk about him. But like, yeah, I'd love to see him rip off a bunch of goals. His on-ice numbers are not good right now.
Struggling.
Yeah, his individual numbers are like meh. They're pretty fine. But like the eye test is what I care about with Filip, and he looks like an NHLer. I want him to give. I want them to give him more time. Riley is in. I listen every day, but can't listen live. It's cool to have a way to interact with you guys. My personal feelings are the Oilers are going to rattle off a 5-game winning streak anytime now because they do it every year. People need to chill. People totally need to chill. Brad is in. His answer to the question was Pods or Savoie. I'd like to see either one of them become a full-time option besides Leon. I think Pods already is, to be fair. He plays a ton with Leon Draisaitl, and to be fair, he's scoring, but that expected goals number with Matt Savoie, like, that's just too high to not result in a run where he starts putting pucks in the back of the net soon here. I
agree. He's got a nose for the net. Mm-hmm. He just needs some easy opportunities, I think is fair to say.
Chandler is in. He was the one yesterday who was like, we had to be like, whoa, Filip Forsberg is a superstar. Like, he's elite.
Oh, yeah.
And he just said, I could have worded my answer better yesterday. But Chandler says Savoie as well. He's played great, needs the bounces. Absolutely. I'll be the captain. Hey, guys, big fan, but work construction, so it's hard to listen live. This is my home. If I had a guy I could see step up for a couple games, it'd be Emberson or Regula. I'd like to see some flashes that one of those guys have some jam and potential to be a top 4 guy. I'd love to get the same vibes from them like I do Howard and Savoie. I think that's fair. And we'll see. We honestly might know in 10 days which one of them they believe in more, because it's either Emberson out the door because they believe more in Regula, or it's Stetcher out the door because they still believe in Emberson. It's one of the two. Regula's not going anywhere, though. $775 for this year and next year. They're not moving him. And I don't think they're going to risk him on waivers. He's going to be here for the year.
We got to ask DJ about Regula, because he brought it up yesterday when I was on What Chaos, and he says, I can't believe this guy's in the NHL. And now here we are trading players for him.
Not OE is in. It's either got to be Savoie or Boosh. I know Skinner's been playing good enough, but it'd be awesome if he went vintage December Stu and stole some games. Not a Stu hater, by the way. Could go many ways, but got to be one of those three. CQ84, first choice for heater dust is Stu. Oh, this is a long one. Let me just get my reading glasses on. If he went on a month run with a 920-plus save percentage with a couple of shutouts mixed in, it'd be huge for his confidence, would silence a lot of noise. Counterpoint, it wouldn't. People would still hate him. Otherwise, I agree with Tyler. Second choice would be Frederick. Love the pod every day. Female listener over in Belgium.
Whoa,
Alberta born and raised.
Belgium.
Would love to get in on the YouTube live chat. but time difference sucks for that.
How's the chocolate over there? Let me know in the Spotify
What
chat.
time is it in
They're about
Belgium?
9 hours ahead, 10 hours ahead.
It's 8 p.m. You could totally be watching
they're
live.
7 hours ahead. They must be on the same time as the United Kingdom.
Mm.
I thought it'd be a little bit further. Never mind.
Yeah, you could totally listen live while you're chilling for the night. Put us on the big screen on your TV.
You gotta watch Coronation Street.
Oh, yeah.
It's on at 7:30.
Maybe
Twice on Wednesdays.
John is in and says, hey, guys, been listening daily for 2 years.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Stuart Skinner is his pick just to shut people up. Also bought my second Skinner Young Guns rookie card to add some good luck. Love the show. That's an investment. Marta is in. First of all, I'd like Stu and or Boosh to go on a heater to shut people up. No matter what, maybe they'll do it private. Or haters going to hate no matter what, but maybe they'll do it privately. Second thing is, yes, Tyler, you have everyday female listeners. Even here in Poland?
Whoa! These people
what?
could just be throwing countries out there, and I believe them.
Yeah, honestly, you guys could just be making this shit up. But we have
Poland wants to be so happy.
Yeah, we now have
know.
confirmed 2 female podcast listeners, one in Belgium, one in Poland.
That's sick. That is really cool. I wonder how they became hockey. I wonder how they found us.
Good. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, the one Alberta born and raised makes a bit of sense.
Right, yes. Belgium, wow.
Mm-hmm. We'll get to, I think DJ's here. Is he here? No, not yet? Okay. Well, then good. We have time to keep reading these comments because these are quickly becoming something that makes my day. Sam is in like any Horrobin that knows hockey. The choice is Janmark. Once he gets going, he'll be worthy of the sea. Jesus.
You know who Sam is, right?
No.
It's Dukes.
Oh. Yeah, it is Dukes. I see the profile picture now. I probably should have pieced that together. Ethan says, boring answer, but it's Stu. Not because he's been overly bad, but because we've seen multiple times in the NHL when a goalie is on a heater, it's tough to lose. Fun answer is Howard. Kid loves to shoot the puck. Yeah, I think so. And then last one came in from Bradley, who said heater dust is for Hyman. If he's available and can come into the lineup by Saturday, big first game back, it would be wicked. I don't think he will be, though.
No, I'm sorry. I'm distracted now. The YouTube chat.
Oh, should we read all these?
Gaz, all the way from Burkina Faso. Whoa. There's also some females in the chat. Ellie, another female everyday listener. Thank you, Elliot. Lauren is also in there. Obviously, listen to her. I honestly thought it was just Sadistic Angel. There's another one a little bit further up, too.
All right, I'll...
Female from North Korea.
Don't see, guys, and then you're going to ruin it for everyone. Yeah, Brownie, female listener from South Dakota. Don't judge me.
Sick.
Ellie.
I
think it's L. I think it's just L. I think if it's Ellie, there's another vowel in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyways, L Salvaggio. I think I nailed that.
Whoa, Pat.
Pat, female
Madison
listener in Fort
from
Saskatchewan, if you believe it or not.
Wow.
Pat's from Fort Saskatchewan.
That is true.
Wow. How's the mayor with the cats going on over there?
Is that the mayor that wanted to kill all the cats?
She's out. She got.
Wow.
She didn't win the election. So
Why? What happened?
Probably a good call. We had a great comment yesterday. Obviously, we have posted a lot of YouTube content as well, and people comment on it. The comments are wild some days, to say the least. And someone commented in there because we posted a clip yesterday of Colby being like, "Hey, like, don't overreact.
Yeah,
the
everyone
others
chill.
are fine. They're just average." So, and this really made me laugh. Wrong. This is from Ed. Let's dig a hole and hope we can dig ourselves out of it in time strategy is guaranteed to fail eventually. Probably not that good at conserving energy for the playoffs either. I replied to the comment and said, Ed, you were the exact target audience we wanted for this video. No reply from Ed yet. I thought that was awesome. The others are just, they're in the battle of mid right now. Also, a lot of people have said this. Sadistic Angel put in there. Amanda, of course. Mr. Burns as well, of course, our female listeners. Thank you very much. Tammy, how could I forget? Jordan Kyrou is a healthy scratch tonight.
Jordan Kyrou has scored at least 30 goals in 3+ seasons and has been north of 35 in 2 of those 3. He has 4 goals in 14 games this year. I do not know if this is a Matt Barzal alarm clock kind of situation here, where he just slept through a meeting. But this was maybe 18 months ago, maybe even 2 years ago now. Holy shit. Yeah, it was probably 2 years ago. I had heard some rumblings that like there are people in that Blues organization who Like he's not a part of their core that they envision. Like he's there because he's there and they don't mind him, but like paying him $8.125 for the next 5-6 years, I've just heard things that like he would be available. He's not the guy that they look at and go like, we're going to win a cup with him. Like our next cup's coming with Jordan Kyrou.
I have 2 statements on Jordan Kyrou.
Okay, and then we'll get to our guest line, I think.
One,
Yes.
He was the gentleman that said something about Craig Berube, right? And then cried. Remember when Craig Berube got fired and then Jordan Kyrou cried because people were saying they were mad at what he said?
Oh, yeah.
He basically said something like, I don't care that he's gone, something along those lines, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because they were calling him Kyrou.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'd cry too. That's actually kind of upsetting. He fought back tears because he was getting booed by Blues fans
That's right.
because they were mad. Oh, boy. Oh, because he asked about his relationship with Berube, said, I've got no comment.
Second comment. Doug Armstrong is the one making decisions for Team Canada.
Yes.
Just wanted to throw that out there when you see the lineup and you're like, why is this guy on the team? Can't even let his 30-goal guy play a hockey game.
Oh, you're saying you're anti-Doug Armstrong.
I'm anti everyone on the Hockey Canada bench that isn't Chris Knobloch, and he's not going.
That's
How does Pete DeBoer still have a job? He doesn't even have a job. He's currently unemployed.
Whatever. All those players in Dallas loved him. Well, let's head right back out to the Star Mechanical guest line. You know him. You love him. It's Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. Boy, what a terrible ad read that was. Anyway, shout out to Star Mechanical. They stick with us, and we appreciate them for that. Speaking of knowing them and loving them, how about DJ Bean, one half of What Chaos? What's up, DJ?
Oh, hey, my babies. How are we?
Tremendous intro.
Imagine if I talk like that. Ugh.
I texted Pete about this yesterday, but I didn't talk to you about it. Your guys' reaction to Liam's Matt Grzelcyk thing is so great, and I love when people get a glimpse into like what my day-to-day is like here.
He is the greatest, and I'm not saying that in like crazy Liam or whatever. Just like, I hope you're appreciative, and I know that you are, Tyler, of like you could have a boring co-host. Like people like you and me, we don't live like the rest of the world. Our partners and our coworkers, everything, like you get a mix of different people or whatever, but generally it's work, so no one's really trying. I watch Pete go into the King's Pro Shop and they're like, you can have anything you want, and he's like, does anyone here like Corey Perry? No. Cool, give me a Corey Perry jersey. That's what my day-to-day is like. Lord knows what Pete is like having to deal with me. Like that people are as fortunate as we are to work with absolute maniacs. We shouldn't take it for granted.
Today, 18 minutes before our show starts, Liam walks over, starts preheating the oven. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I really want a flatbread. And then he just made a pizza.
Just waiting for me.
He spent the first 10 minutes of the show just eating pizza.
Man's got to eat.
No laptop out, nothing. He was just eating pizza while we did the show. It's great.
I mean, first 25 minutes of our show where we talked about the Stephen A. Smith Solitaire app. Then we got into the Ovechkin's 900th goal, which I don't know if you saw. A lot of fans were not there at the time because it was 2 minutes and 39 seconds into the second period. So we got to talking about how much time should you be willing to miss if you're getting up for concessions. That reminded me of a time I went to In-N-Out recently and told a story about that. Like the first 25, 30 minutes was like 15% hockey, but the 15% we got involved us digging up an old clip of Gene Principe reporting on Wayne Gretzky stealing the puck from what people thought was going to be the Jets' last game in 1995. So it all ends up working out right.
Liam wants to do a bit when we bring you or Pete on the show where we ask you like the most chaotic thing, because what chaos, the most chaotic thing that happened in the last week around the NHL. But the answer to that is definitely Jordan Binnington trying to steal that puck, right?
Yes, and I hate to, I'm not calling out anybody in particular because I've seen so many people I love and respect have this reaction. I say bad form to anyone who got mad or looked down upon Jordan Binnington stealing that puck. Look, folks, Jordan Binnington is going to exist whether we like it or not, okay? His shit is going to exist whether we like it or not. If his shit is going to include hijinks, I'll take that. It's better than all the other pissiness, so he's going to be doing stuff outside the ordinary anyway. What would you rather him do? Would you rather him steal pucks or would you rather him like attack players on the ice? For me, it's stealing pucks. And Pete's yelling terrorist off the mic. Pete hates Jordan Binnington. I think that he should hate the Boston Bruins for letting Jordan Binnington beat them, but that's neither here nor there. Pete endorsed the behavior of stealing the puck. So if Pete's going to like it, folks, we all got to put up with it.
Pete calling someone else a terrorist, considering where he was on January 6th, is insane behavior. But anyways, we'll move on from that.
Yes.
Should we talk some Oilers?
Let's
whatever
talk
you
some
want.
How seriously are you taking this Oilers slump? I'm not taking it seriously at all. I'm fine every day.
Yeah, so we went to the show yesterday, and I was like, okay, at some point, first of all, we haven't talked about the Oilers all season, which is good for you guys, I guess, like good for Oilers fans. They know that there's still going to be Oilers references throughout the show, but we hadn't done a proper Oilers segment, and we were like, all right, I mean, I know that you could say, well, this happens every year, blah, blah, but still a top team and a Stanley Cup favorite is playing with their food, and it would be, I don't know, it'd be weird if we didn't acknowledge it at least once. So I told Pete, I was like, okay, we'll bring up the Oilers and you can set me up and just be like, hey, like, what do you make of it? Should we blah, blah? And this is a very Liam thing. Like, I was prepared for this. And this was a thing that I said, Pete, ask me this question. I will have an answer. Pete asked me the question and I was like, fuck. I don't know. This shit happens every year. So even when you try to like, let's live in the moment and acknowledge they're screwing up, they're playing with their food, they're blowing leads. Still, when it comes time to actually assess and determine whether you have a strong feeling about it, I can't have a strong feeling about it. And shout out to Shayna Goldman. I think that Oilers fans drastically misinterpreted a clip that was going around of her on the sheet where she said, I'm bored of this team. It's the same storylines every year. And she mocked the idea of, oh no, their goaltending isn't good, but wait, it's going to be. And oh no, they signed a bunch of wingers. And what? They all suck, but they're going to figure it out and outscore their problems. She listed out all these things. Sean and I were laughing of like, it's like every year, these exact specific things happen. And Oilers fans got mad at her for that. And I was like, no, like as an Oilers fan, I interpret that as, what am I going to be really worried that some of the wingers aren't playing amazing yet? I bet Leon Draisaitl is just going to carry everybody and figure it all out because that's what happens every year. What am I going to say? Oh, Stu Skinner isn't playing that well. He's not like bad. He's $899, which I think is like the perfect Stu Skinner number because it's one tick below 900 and it lets haters say that he's under 900 and it lets people who are like, whatever, it's fine, say whatever, it's fine. I'm not freaking out about this. And I think that Shayna had a very funny read on it.
I think if we grabbed our show from November 6th last year, we could just replay it and people would have no idea it's from 1 year ago.
There might be like a Jeff Skinner line we'd have to dub over with like Savoie, but it
would be exactly the same. Yeah. You're right. It's just the same headlines every single day. And we talked about it yesterday. Thank goodness Connor McDavid has signed a contract. I wanted to ask you about Mason Lohrei, sorry.
There you go. I've heard it pronounced both ways.
Okay. In Boston, Marco Sturm keeps saying he's fine, he's just pissed. Like, why is this guy not playing? Because his numbers actually look okay. And then they're going to trade him.
He is an insane player, and I love him for that. He is a talented puck-moving defenseman who has a lot of Evan Bouchard to him without having a lot of Evan Bouchard to him. And to that, by that, I mean he gets the puck, and he's doing crazy shit, and he's jumping around, and he's doing all sorts of stuff, but he doesn't have the production of Evan Bouchard. So he's susceptible to those moments in those games where he's going to be on ice for every goal against, and he's not going to have a good defensive performance at all, but he's not going to be one of the best offensive defensemen in the league. So I've always exercised caution with Mason Lohrei, and like Bruins fans saw him, and they were like, we've got our next Torrey Krug. And I was like, I don't think you have your next Torrey Krug. You've got a player who hopefully can be that one day, but it is a very, we'll say, erratic player. And if you're the Bruins and you're truly trying to be competitive, like I saw a Bruins fan yesterday say, oh, they're scratching him because they're trying to tank. No, I think if you were trying to tank, you would say, make all the mistakes you want and let him play as free as possible. I give credit to Marco Sturm for going against what I think a lot of fans would want, which is just let all the kids play with impunity, let them figure it out. I think that he's actually gaining a lot of respect around Boston for saying, like, no, if this kid doesn't play well, I'm going to sit him. You know, with Chris Knobloch, it's a very fine line with fans, the playing the young guy as much as the fans want versus, you know, we're trying to win some games here. So like that's the rub on the Mason Lohrei situation.
You had Michael Kesselring on the show, a player every Oilers fan, I think, now wanted to see play for the Oilers. At the time, I don't think most of them could have told you who he was when they traded him for Nick Bukestad. But now everyone's upset. Did he have some comments about Evan Bouchard, you were telling me?
Yes, he commented on, he was really cool about talking about a lot of players throughout the league, like players that he wants to play more like, players who impress him, and two names that I think, boys, did he bring up on his own? He brought up Wallman on his own, and I think he also brought up Bouchard on his own, where he said Wallman, he loves watching Jake Wallman play, but also like he loves that Jake Wallman, he called out the celebration against, I think it was Ottawa, the overtime game winner, where he did the bobblehead thing, and our show had a blast with that. But he was saying like he watches that and he's like, fuck yeah, man, you scored on a bomb in overtime, celebrate. And if you're creative enough to come up with cool shit, do that. So he was singing his praises and then just saying what a good player he was. And as for Bouchard, he brought him up and said, you know, like people give Bouchard a hard time for the defensive stuff, but like I don't think they understand that people can't do what Evan Bouchard does. And he said he had a reporter ask him last year, like, hey, if you were put in the role that Evan Bouchard has, do you think you'd be able to do similar stuff to him? And he was like, I'd like to say yes, but no. Like that, Evan Bouchard is unbelievable. And it was cool to hear an NHL defenseman speak just so like he has no reason. I don't think he has a relationship with Evan Bouchard. I don't think he has any. I know that he's friends with McLeod, who's friends with Bouchard, but he doesn't have any reason to go out of his way to be like, people get it wrong on Evan Bouchard, or they get carried away with Evan Bouchard because yes, when you're going to have the puck that much, you're going to make mistakes with it. But we were talking about like Evan Bouchard is made out to be like a guy who gets walked all the time. No, not really. He does stupid things with the puck sometimes because he always has the puck. I'm not going to pretend that Evan Bouchard is mistake-free. Mm-hmm. He is a very high player on the mistake list, but he's not the disaster defensively that people make him out to be. He just has the worst moments defensively that you could possibly see.
I also think there's a little part of it too with like Oilers fans who are maybe just like a little bit numb to the things he does well now. Like you're so used to elite power play quarterbacking that now it just looks to you like a normal power play quarterback. You're so used to his elite puck moving out of the zone and these little plays he does that to you, you're just like, oh yeah, that's just what defensemen do. But like Bouchard is a truly special player who just has really bad brain farts.
Petey brought that up today. Steve Peters was on our show today, and Pete brought it up yesterday with the, I was talking about the Draisaitl goal scored behind the goal line. Of course, the headline there is Leon Draisaitl does Leon Draisaitl things, but he keeps that puck in so effortlessly on a play that very few people in the league can make. And everything with Bouchard looks effortless. I think that he also is just a victim of having Evan Bouchard's face, where he just is always like, wait, why? What happened? And like, I watch that. I'm like, do you understand what you just did, sir? You just did, like, you are the greatest hockey player. Like, you're better than Bob Orr with what you just did. And he just seems so like, why? What happened? He makes it look so effortless that when people watch that play, it takes good broadcasters and good analysts like Petey to say, no. Like, yes, amazing thing by Leon Draisaitl, but also this happens because this psychotic player did something so psychotic.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. How excited are you to see Zach Hyman back in this lineup? Because that is another thing too. Like they can't score at 5-on-5. They're missing their third best 5-on-5 player.
Yeah, they need him back. I will say, I don't hate all of the wings as much as everybody else does. Liam and I were talking yesterday on the show where I say thumbs up so far with Andrew Mangiapane. The numbers aren't there yet, but I say thumbs up on Matthew Savoie. I think that like everyone should like Matthew Savoie roughly so far. I mean, like I said, the offensive stats aren't there, but he looks like he's going to be a player. But yes, once you bring back Zach Hyman and Nuge is having the season that he's having, everything is going to slot so much nicer. I don't know what you do with the lines because Roslovic looks like he should probably stay in a top 6 role, but he and Mangiapane are probably going to be jostling for that, which, I mean, that's great competition. If the conversation changes from where it was last year, which is, damn, are either of Arvidsson or Skinner good, to which one between Mangiapane and Roslovic do you have to bump down to the third line, or possibly Podkolzin? But I just love Podkolzin with Draisaitl. So, like, I don't know. I think that it becomes a good numbers game.
Yeah, that's fair. DJ Bean from What Chaos. I misspoke earlier. I said you were 1/2. You are 1/3 of What Chaos. I did not mean to disrespect my boy Sean like that.
Hell yeah. Fanatics sent us some packages today and 3 enormous boxes. I love it. One for
That's
each
the respect.
person.
It's the respect Sean deserves. Look forward to hopefully having you boys back up in Edmonton at some point this season, and look forward to having you on the show more regularly.
Anytime. And I know I say anytime, but a couple of times when you've asked me to come on, I've been like, yes, I can do that a different day. But Chaos Land is crazy.
We're probably going to just rotate you and Pete as well. I'll probably start hitting up Pete more too, because, I mean, why not?
I love being on this show, but I definitely champion Pete and Sean being on the show more often. Not me being on it less, but also Pete and Sean being on it a lot, because Pete's just Pete. He's amazing. And the rapport that you guys have with Sean is incredible.
All right, then we will start doing that, like a starting pitching
Sounds
rotation.
good.
We'll start cycling them through. More chaos is good for us. Thank you, DJ.
Appreciate you, boys.
Bye,
There you
DJ.
What Chaos?
Have a
Find them on
lovely
YouTube.
day.
While DJ was talking there, I did go quickly check what our YouTube descriptions were for November 6th the last 2 years.
Awesome.
So last
Please
year,
fill me in on how bad Stuart Skinner was on November 6th and what Evan Bouchard did.
again, these are just the descriptions that we write, not so much like what was actually talked about in the show. On today's episode of Oilers, this is last year. On today's episode of ONE, Tyler Yaremchuk previews the Oilers' upcoming showdown with the Vegas Golden Knights. We'll dive into the ongoing struggles with special teams, focusing on the league's worst penalty kill and the unexpectedly disappointing power play. Can the Oilers turn things around tonight against the defending Stanley Cup champions, which is not accurate. They were, I guess at some point they were defending the cup. Anyways, one way to help turn things around, the return of Connor McDavid. He'll make his return to the lineup since his ankle injury against Columbus. So that's what we were talking about last year. The comments on this show,
Awesome, I bet, because no one was moderating them. Wow.
There was only 3 comments on this show. What do you guys think of Stu Skinner 5x5? Why do you litter all
Did
your
I
videos?
write that one?
No.
Oh.
Why do you litter your videos with ads? McDavid faked his injury to get Draisaitl going. 2 years ago, man, we had so many sponsors. Oh my God. What a throwback.
Because we were here before anyone else, and now everyone else has the sponsors.
Yeah, but that's fine.
That's fine.
We share. 2 years ago, our description was the Oilers put together another dismal display on Saturday afternoon, losing 5-2 to the Nashville Predators. Earlier in the season, the Oilers dominated the Predators in Nashville. However, only a few weeks later, the roles reversed, and Edmonton had no counter to the Preds' attack. What's the issue? Is there an issue with Jack Campbell and Stuart Skinner?
Well,
Narrator, there was. Is the blue line good enough? It actually turned out to be. Is this offense good enough? All are reasonable questions to ask. Tyler and Liam answered these questions. Interact with the chat by giving your thoughts on the state of the Oilers. Today's also a giant pregame edition of the show. Oilers take on the Canucks in Vancouver. Edmonton's last visit was when they got lit up. Wait, wasn't this the day we wrote this description? Then they put Jack Campbell on waivers.
that's right.
Because I was coming. Oh, no. I was in Vancouver, I think, with Jay. It was like the next day.
Oh, yeah. And you messaged into you. Oh, I think
Jay
I
and
was
I are
on,
in Greta for this one.
I was in After Dark that day, and you said, what a
throwback.
setup. And you said that, what did you say? The playoff was dead or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I was.
Yeah.
We were not doing good in our betting challenge either.
Well, that's just been consistent.
Yeah, I mean,
What were the records?
we'd only been doing it for a few games actually, but it was like 0-2, 0-3. I think you were like 1-2 maybe. I was gonna go to the comment section of this one too to see what the people were saying. Happens every year at some point. We'll bounce back, go on a 20-game heater. Hell yeah.
wow.
That guy was good.
Yeah, that guy. Was that the year they went on the 20-game heater? I think I was. That guy literally predicted a 20-game heater.
Yeah, he did.
Good for them. Who
That's
was
crazy.
the
Matt
name?
Peters. Holy
Matt
shit, 2 years ago.
Peters. Way to go, Matt.
I like this one because it's a conversation that I forgot we had. In a season where it's been hard to smile about anything Oilers, thank you for the Hunter dating speculation. Have to say I was snickering out loud. So this, if you're new to the show, this was like a good bit, I think, for like a week.
I've erased that from my memory.
If you are the guy who is in the Hunter the Lynx suit, and you and I know who he is, big fans of his work. If you are the guy in the Hunter the Lynx suit, how many dates do you need to go on with someone before you tell them that you're Hunter the Lynx? It's a fascinating question because, like, if you were someone who is looking for love, presuming you would be as a mascot, anyway, that was unintentionally. That was unintentionally so rude.
Being the weirdo you are, dressing up like a lynx, surely you are sad.
That's not what I meant at all.
Surely you have no love in your life. Anyway, let's continue on, Tyler. We can wait for you to.
Like if you were going on multiple first dates in your life and you're looking for love.
Yeah.
You can't go first date, hey, what do you do for work? Oh, I'm Hunter the Lynx. You can't do it.
But then
what do you say when they're like, what do you do for work? Do you just say like, oh, I work in marketing at OEG? I do game day ops at OEG? I guess you could say that.
What if they say, I have a huge crush on Hunter?
I love his abs.
Do you go from there? Or do you like not live in a lie? Lying's bad. You shouldn't lie.
There's another part of it too that like how long can you let it go on until you would be like first date is a definite no. Second date is also probably a no. I think
it depends how it's going.
I think it's the first time you get intimate. And not in a weird way.
In the costume?
Not in a weird way. Not in a weird way, but like there's a level of trust there. And then as you're laying in bed after, you go,
oh, intimate, not even a kiss.
No. I'm full on.
Wow. Well, what if he has his costume in the trunk?
Maybe there's a way to naturally find out.
I think you got to get a vibe on the person you're with. Like, I mean, we've all been on first dates where it's like, I know there is no second date here.
Yeah.
Like, you just know.
One with toes.
Yeah.
That's also a throwback.
So you can like figure that out on your own, and like, how much information do you want to tell this person?
You definitely don't keep the costume in the trunk if you're him, because if it gets stolen, you're fucked.
Oh yeah, that's something I would leave at work.
The costume stays at Rogers Place.
Yeah, it's not like a high school mascot. The Oilers are a bit of a step up.
4 dates, yeah.
I would read the room. I would go for it on the first date if it's going well. Hey, I'm Hunter. Don't tell anyone.
Nah, but then everyone knows you're Hunter.
I'm also
then if the date goes,
also the baseball.
what was the baseball mascot's name? Because there's Punter, there's Nanook. I don't know who's the new elk.
Surely you would know, Mr.
You would
Elks Nation.
think, but I have no idea.
Damn, let me have a look.
I don't know. And then who is the baseball? I thought he had like a super basic name.
Wasn't it like?
We're not ending the show until we find out who the oh my god, it's right on the tip of my tongue, bro.
I see him. Homer.
Homie. Homer was the baseball. There you go. People did get it. Mulek loosely.
There he is.
Canada.
Zach.
God.
Pat, if you want to go on my solo.
Sometimes those mascots just have lifeless eyes. Like I think about that. Imagine if that was the last thing you saw because he was a murderer, and like it's those eyes like bludgeoning you to death.
Me or the ball.
Anyways, there's your runaround. But I think it's an interesting
homie.
I think it's an interesting debate. Maybe I'll throw it to the guys on Real Life today.
Yeah, not a full cast for you today though. Just you and Wanya and Chalmers.
Yeah, and that's assume Wanya never responded to me in the group chat. Oh, my insurance is due.
Quickly on what's trending, which is brought to you by the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament.
Mm-hmm.
That's coming up January 23rd to 25th. So
NationGear.ca.
Get your teams in at NationGear.ca. Jasper's beautiful. You get to skate on the lake there at the JPL. That's where it is, right? Still?
Yep. Yeah, Lake Mildred. Beautiful.
Lovely. Okay, I'll go through, what's trending?
Yep.
Canada dropping their threads today.
Who knows?
Maybe tomorrow.
Everyone's wrong about everything Olympics right now.
I think Canada's Olympic preliminary roster, I don't know if it will also be revealed, but Pierre LeBrun was reporting that November 10th is when they're going to kind of like narrow down their list of like, I don't know how many players it would be. Just like tighten the list so it makes it easier to make decisions. I don't know if that means someone off the list can still get put on. Whatever. Apparently that's going to happen. Jordan Binnington, we talked about it a little bit. Interesting debate on that one. I think it was a bit of a losing move, but then he had a quote being like, I was just making a joke. I was going to give them the puck no matter what.
But Ovi didn't want to play. Ovi wasn't playing with that shit.
I didn't see what happened.
They were like, Ovi, did you like see that? He goes, I saw it. And they were like, what do you think? He's like, I have no comment.
Oh, wow. Okay. Samuel Hansen, we already talked about it.
Wait, can I have one more on Ovi?
Please do.
They have emptied the bench for 3 of his last 6 goals. Probably could have not emptied the bench yesterday.
What? No, the first place to ever get 900 goals? That should not be put under the radar. We just talked about how some things Evan Bouchard does we're numb to. We should not be dumb to records. We were numb to McDavid getting 1,100 points, being like the 5th fastest ever or whatever it was. I think it's important. You should clear the benches. PWHL names, Vancouver Golden Eyes and the Seattle Torrent? How long till Edmonton gets the team is my question.
Honestly, probably not that far away from Edmonton getting a PWHL team. My concern would be, as much as, listen, I hate talking shit about Edmonton. Edmonton has shown itself to, at times, be more of an Oilers town than a hockey town.
Disagree slightly because the Oil Kings are like number 1 in attendance every year.
But why are they number 1 in attendance? Because they have 2 games a year where they put 18,000 in there, and it boosts their numbers and inflates them.
Probably not that much, though. I mean, it definitely helps. I'm not denying that. But
like Teddy Bear Toss and the school night, you know?
Interesting. I still think it's a really solid place to be. I wonder if they would have to obviously play at Rogers Place because there's no other rink. Unless they played out. Nah, I was going to say.
I was kind of wondered if they would do something in the downtown community arena. And like, is there a renovation to be had there where you could put seats on the other side, make it a bit more of like a lower bowl vibe?
Yeah,
and
maybe.
you could play the Oil Kings and another team out of there.
Well,
and a lacrosse team.
Yeah, there is actually an NRL game. Is that what it's called?
NLL
game coming. Calgary versus Georgia, which seems like an insane place to have a team.
But they're not. Georgia's not an NLL team.
They're not? Okay.
It's like a cross league thing.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
A Bo Bichette qualifying offer.
Yes, Bo Bichette qualifying offer. That one. Also, no, you can't do it at Silent Ice. No one wants to drive to Nisku.
That's the problem. Like, the only good arenas are Nisku and then there's one in Spruce Grove that's near. It feels like too far.
Bo Bichette gets a qualifying offer. So the way that works in baseball is basically if you're going to lose a free agent, you can extend them a qualifying offer. And a qualifying offer is a 1-year deal at a dollar amount that is calculated based on like the average top salaries in Major League Baseball.
It's like a franchise tag.
A little bit, yeah. So the player can take the qualifying offer. So you can't just extend it to everybody. So the Jays are going to extend Bo Bichette a qualifying offer. He could sit there and go, you know what? 1 year, $26 million or whatever. I'll take 1 year, 26 mil. I'm back. And he could play on the qualifying offer. It's happened a couple times over the last few years, but it is pretty rare. If Bo Bichette does not take the qualifying offer and goes to sign with another team, you get a compensation pick. And the compensation pick is after the first round. I think it's based on the quality of player because there are also some compensations after the second round. But for a player like Bo, it would likely be at the end of the first round. So it softens the blow. You never truly lose a player for nothing.
Okay.
You just have to be willing to offer him a 1 year, $20-some million contract. And he can accept it. That's the risk. But if he goes and signs elsewhere, you get a compensation pick, and that other team that signs him loses the pick.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So do you think it's going to be fine?
I think he's going to come back.
Oh, wow.
I think he's going to come back on like an Alex Bregman type deal where it's going to be like 3 years, $90 million. So he'll get $30 million a year guaranteed, but he'll just have an opt-out after every year. So if he like blows up next season and has a banging year, like good defense, bats cooking still, he led the league in hits.
Yeah.
But like if he does it again and plays the full season without getting hurt, he can put up his hand next winter and go, you know what? I want my 10-year, $400 million deal now, and he'll probably get it. Yeah. But he at least has the security of 90 mil, and he gets to do the thing of like, hey, Toronto, like not fully McDavid-esque, but like he'll do the, I'm doing right by you guys. Like, let's go. Let's run this thing back. Give it one more shot at winning it all. If we do it, that's great.
Yeah. Awesome.
Jeremiah dropped in $10 to the Ben Stelter Foundation, our friend from up in Alaska. Are you guys still giving money to the Ben Stelter Foundation? Yes, we are. The banter is why I missed the show. Liam is right about Ovi. Come on, Tyler. I'll be grumpy. I'm not dying on this hill. I really don't give a shit. I just think it's a little ridiculous that we've cleared the bench for 3 of his last 6 goals.
What were the 3? Obviously the record.
Tying the record, setting the record, and now this one.
Maybe he didn't need to do it for tie-in, but I think these past 2 have been adequate.
1:30, that's a wrap on today's show because I got to take a leak.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in today, everybody. We're back tomorrow, noon Mountain Time. We will see you then. Oil up. What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Everyday, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.